Hello and welcome to Big Up's unboxing of the new Weiss Schwarz expansion, Fake Kaleid Liner PRISMA ILLYA 2Y. My name is Simon, I'll be doing the unboxing today. Now first of all I will apologise if I got the name pronunciation wrong, and for every other card that I say wrongly in this video. My Japanese guru James is currently in Japan, so unfortunately I can't use him as a reference for how things should be correctly pronounced. So my apologies if I butcher names throughout this entire video. So this is the latest release for Weiss Schwarz. It's a combination of two sets from Japan, which was the normal PRISMA ILLYA and then the PRISMA ILLYA DX, I believe. And they've combined them both together. What they haven't done though, it's not a version E. I believe what that means is that they haven't edited any of the cards. They've kept them as they were originally printed in Japanese. So hopefully for those of you who are coming over from Japanese in the English version, hopefully this one will be make you nice and happy that it's like that. So, as always, I'm no expert on this game. This isn't an in-depth guide. This is me opening up packs, looking at the shiny cards, and then just going through the shininess. So, first shiny card we have pulled is a single rare Coincident Mew. So, blue level 1, 0 cost. Has continuous experience. If the total level of the cards in your level is 2 or higher, it gets plus X power, X being 1000 multiplied by the level of the character facing this card. Oh, that's an interesting mechanic. So, terrible against level 0s. An Encore. So it's just got Encore, put the top card of your deck into a clock, so you can pain yourself to keep it alive, which seems like a bit of a steep cost to me. I've never liked those ones, but I suppose it does mean you've always got the option to encore it, where sometimes you don't have that hand, or the three, don't have cards in hand, or the 3 in your stock to keep cards alive. Made Outfit Mew. So we're seeing a bit of a theme so far with this. So it's a backup, it's blue, level 1, cost 1. When you use its backup, choose one of your characters in the battle and it gets plus X, where X is 500 multiplied by the number of characters you have with ILLYA or Mew in its name, and it's a backup 500, so only a little backup for the generic ability. Then obviously it's gaining a bit of extra power there, because I'm sure you're going to be running this in sort of like a pure build ILLYA deck or something like that. So let's see what other shiny cards. I'm sure I'm bypassing some very interesting cards as well from this set. I feel bad for that, but oh, dropped that one. So Wish You Want to Fulfill Kuro. So this is a level 3 RR, so very nice. Oh, it's quite interesting. It's supposed to look like it's Starfield. You can actually see little stars as well in the background there. Not overly impressed with that. I suppose I'm a bit spoiled by the RRs from Cardfight usually. So, 9,500 power. Level 3 cost 2. 3 abilities. Continuous. If the number of cards named behind the lies and strong front in your waiting room is 3 or more, it gets -1 level in your whilst in hand, so that's good. It lets you get it out a bit earlier if you've sort of self-milled through your deck a bit. Experience, if the total level of the cards in your level is 4 or higher, it gets plus 1000 power, so good for the late game as well. And when it's placed on stage from hand, you may put the top card of your clock into your waiting room, so it's got a heal ability on there as well. That's quite a good all-rounder. There's nothing particularly overpowering or overwhelming with it, just it's got a nice early play option, a late play ability, and it heals you. It's a nice all-rounder, level 3 really. Oh, Flame Burst, 7-fold Louvier. So very reminiscent of Saber there. I'm sure I'm going to get told off for that. Level 2 costs 8,000 power. Single rare, by the way, and it's an auto with pay 3 and put a dual type character from your hand into your waiting room. And you can do this when it attacks if you have another card named Galeburst 5-fold Rin in center stage to deal 7 damage to your opponent. Ooh, that's a nice combination there. 7 damage, I mean, obviously you're most likely, oh, split these up. You're most likely to get that cancelled at 7, but still, pinging them for 7, even if they do climax cancel it, you know, you're still hopefully milling them for a good few cards for that. So, next rare we have is In a Pinch, ILLYA. So, a single rare, it's a blue, 500 power, level 0, cost 0. Continuous, your other character in the middle position of your center stage gets plus 500 and Encore, drop a character from hand. And Act, pay 1 and put the top card of your deck into your clock and rest this card. Choose one of your opponent's characters and it cannot stand during your opponent's next stand phase. That's an interesting one. I find the cost of damaging yourself, I mean, I suppose it would be good early on if you want to get up into your level 2 and 3 and stuff. And again, you could use it later on to, say, hold down one of your opponent's big level 3s or something like that. So it's got its uses. So, hello. Magical Sapphire. What a staff. So, level 0 costs 0. Sorry, this just looks interesting. 500 power, continuous. If the number of cards in hand is 5 or more, all of your other characters get plus 500 power. An assist or without assist. If you would pay the act cost for one or more of your characters in your hand or stage, you may put a marker from underneath this card into your waiting room instead of a card from stock. Oh, that's really cool. And auto, rest 2 of your stud characters when it's placed on stage from hand to put the top card of your deck underneath this card as a marker. So you're only getting it as a one-off, unfortunately, but at least when it stays around on the field, as long as you've got that cards in hand, you gain everyone gets that extra 500. Dreamy Girl ILLYA. I feel like I should be wrong for holding this card. So 3,500 power for level 2 cost 1. She has continuous assist. All of your characters in front of this card get plus 1,000 power. So it's only in front, but still level 2 assist. Pretty cool. Experience, at the total level of cards in your levels 3 or higher. Your other character in the middle position gets plus 500 power. Nice little buff. And it has changed. Pay 1 and put it into the waiting room at the beginning of the draw phase to choose a card named Kaleidoscope ILLYA in your waiting room and put it onto the stage position this was on. I like change effects. They're my favourite mechanic in Weiss Schwarz. Usually because it allows you to sort of cheat into cards a bit early, get into those higher levels early, which can be, your opponent can punish you for doing that, but I like it. I think it's a fun mechanic in the game. So here we have the Magical Stick Ruby. They could have called it something nicer. So 2,000 power, level 0 costs 0. And when it's placed on stage from hand, look at up to 2 cards from the top of your deck and put them on the top of your deck in any order. Good for setting up attacks, I guess. No assist or anything, so it's really just an early playing card by the looks of it. So another Magical Girl Mew. Unfortunately, no abilities. Boo. Magical Stick Sapphire. All of your other magic characters get plus 500 power. And auto encore, drop a character from hand. Oh, that's quite a nice one actually. I like that. Maybe I should make a Magical Stick deck. Temporary Retreat is the rare for the pack. So Temporary Retreat Kuro. Level 0 costs 0, 2,500 power, and auto at the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you may put the top card of your deck into your waiting room. If that card is a magic character, you may move this card to an open position of your center stage. Oh, so it's a little move mechanic. And also you're sort of self-milling a bit as well, though, which usually has its own benefits. I think, in this one, is there a way to give yourself a free refresh of your 3 cards or less or something like that? I think one of the cards does. So yeah, it's not too punishing to be able to do that. So, yeah, flick through. Oh, we have single rare, but it looked really foily from that little side bit we saw. To Protect Daily Life, ILLYA. So, level 3, cost 2, 10,000 power. So this is one of your bosses. 2 abilities. Auto, when it's placed on stage from hand, draw up to 1 card, choose up to 1 cost 1 or lower character in your hand and put it on any position on your stage. So refill your stage a bit. And auto, pay 3 and return this to hand when a card's battle opponent becomes reversed if you have another me in the climax area. To choose up to 1 card named Wish you want to fulfill Kuro in your hand and put it on the stage position this card was on. I wonder, have we since Wish to fulfill? I'm going to assume it's one of the rares. No. Map it. Sorry. So yeah. Wish you want to fulfill Kuro. Wow. That's a really nice little combination there, isn't it? So let me just get this straight. So with this one, the climax combo with another me, pay 3, return it to hand, and then you get to play this from hand, which lets you then heal. Wow. That's a nice little combination, isn't it? There we go. Pretty cool, huh? So, on to the next pack. A Maid's Job Mew. So, level 0 costs 0, 2,500 power. When it attacks, if the number of cards in your hand is 5 or more, choose one of your magic characters and that character gets plus 1,500 power until end of turn. So it's an on-attack buff for a level 0. That's pretty cool. good for sort of maintaining you through the mid stages of the game, I guess. However, you do have that crutch of having to have 5 cards in hand still. So probably should have, one of these shows that I should probably watch one day. Oh, double R. So something to protect Mew. So level 3 costs 2, 9,500 power. Continuous, if you have in a pinch ILLYA in your clock, this card gets -1 level while in your hand. Ooh. And when this card attacks, if a card named Glass Card Rider is in your climax area until end of turn, it gets +3k and your opponent cannot play event cards and backup. Ooh, I like that. And also, at the beginning of your opponent's draw phase, if this card is in your center stage, choose any of your characters and they get +4,000 power till end of turn. Ooh, that's nice. That's a nice big buff there. So yeah, this is another one that sort of has a way to get itself out early. Has like a middling ability as well, which is the power buff from the clock. I suppose if you're late game, it's more likely to be staying in your clock for those extra few turns, because otherwise it's game over. And also that little power buff as well. I say little, 4,000 is not little, but cool. Miracle Kuro. So, question mark. Level 2 costs 18,000 power, single rare. So auto, rest one of your other stud magic characters, and when it attacks, if you have mana resupply in the climax, you can pay that cost to choose a magic character in the waiting room, put it into your stock, and get +4,000 power to this card. So it's going toe-to-toe with level 3s, even beating some of them at 12k there. And you get to fill in your stock a bit more as well, which is nothing to well, it's a good thing. Always a good thing to fill in your stock. It gives you more options then. Wow, look at this pack. 0, 0, 0, 0, zeros. Wow. And a 1. And then our rare was a 2, which is a backup. So it's a single art. It's Swimsuit ILLYA Mew. I was waiting for a swimsuit card, then knew there was going to be one in there. So it's a level 2, cost 1 backup. 2,000 power. It has experience when you use its backup, as long as the total level of the cards in your level is 5 or higher. Choose one of your characters in battle and it gets +1k, otherwise it backs up for 2,500. So it could be potential 3,500 backup, however you do have to set yourself up, make sure you're putting characters into your level that add up. I mean, usually you try and drop zeros, don't you? So yeah, whether or not you can get that extra 1k is questionable. So, another ILLYA Kuro. So it's level 1, costs 7,500 power, which is quite a good amount for level 1. And when it attacks, if the number of cards in your stock is 2 or less, put this card into your waiting room. So there's the downside. You get a high-powered attacker. However, if you've been spending your stock, unfortunately, she disappears. So let's have a look through. I do like that the set's only 2 colours. It does make deck building a lot easier with it. Kaleid Magical Girl ILLYA. So seeing some of this kaleidoscope stuff. Level 1 costs 0, 5,000 power. And she has experience. If the total level of cards in your level is 2 or higher, this card gets +1,000. Oh, so it's quite a nice, simple little buff there. Former Master, Rin. What does she do actually? Let's just have a quick look. Especially with that big thumbs up. Level 0 costs 0, 2,500, and she gets +1,500 power, and the character fate in this card gets +1 soul for each of your other cards named Former Master Luvia. That's kind of cool. Obviously buffing their soul up a bit, but you're getting the extra power. A uncommon level 3 as well. Sorry, I like the I always like the seeing the different versions of the level 3s that aren't rares. Friend ILLYA Mew, 10,000 power, level 3, cost 2. She gets +1,000 power for each of your other cards named Friend ILLYA Mew. And when this card is placed on stage from hand, you may put the top card of your clock into your waiting room. That's a really simple ability. It's a heal. And if you play another one out, you're getting an extra 1k, play 2 out, 2k, so they become 12ks each. That's nice and simple. I like that. Ooh, speaking of Kaleidoscope ILLYA, double rare. Level 3, cost 2, 10,000 power. This is a wall of text, so I'll try and truncate. When it's placed on stage, I'm doing really well, aren't I? Placed on stage from hand or by change, draw up to 2 cards, choose a card in hand and put it into your waiting room. Auto, put a card named Class Card Saber from your hand into your waiting room. And when class card save is placed on Climax, if you have another Kaleidoscope Mew, put the top card of your deck into your waiting room, and if that card was level 1 or lower, you may pay the cost. If you do, all of your characters get the following ability until the end of turn. When it attacks, deal 1 damage to your opponent. Slightly steep conditions. You got to do a bit of setup for that last ability. But yeah, that's wow. Yeah, I would. That's a really good ability. I like that. Just because you get to ping an extra bit of damage onto your opponent, that's always a useful thing to do, because hopefully you're gonna, cut out some of those climaxes. Now it says the damage can be cancelled, but you don't mind because it's an extra pinging for 1. Perfect Superhuman Mew. Level 1 costs 0, 5,000 power, and when it attacks, if a blue climax is in your climax area, draw a card, choose a card in hand, and put it into your waiting room. So you get to do a bit of looting if you have a climax in play. So it's like a soft climax combo. Yeah. So, travel through to the rare. Sweet Battle Outbreak Kuro. Level 3 costs 0, 2,000 power. When your other magic character or character with Mimi in its card name attacks, this gets plus 1,000 power until end of turn. And also, pay 1, put a card from the top of your deck into your clock. This is when your battle's opponent becomes reversed, to choose a magic character or character with Shiro in its card name from your waiting room and return it to your hand. So damage yourself to get a return and pay a stock. Yeah, that's not too bad a thing to do to set yourself up, I guess. However, you're going to be playing this early, even though it's 2,000 power, it is only a level 0 and it is a little bit lower. I suppose you get 3k as well with the buff, but it's still not a lot to be playing it later out. So, yeah. It's cool as well to see something supporting something other than like a slightly different archetype of deck as well, by the looks of it there, because it's looking at Shiro. Oh, that's it. So, next one we have Ties That Bind Mew. Level 1, cost 0, 3,000 power. Also put the card into the waiting room. When another of your characters with ILLYA in its name is frontal attack, you may pay the cost, choose one of your characters in battle and give it plus 1,500 power until end of turn. So pseudo backup from the field. And it has a bond with usual scenery ILLYA. Cool, cool. Nice. It's an alright double R. It's, not the most powerful thing in the world, but it's still pretty nice. So, for our final pack, let's take a look and see what we get. Mama's Intuition. Classmate. Another magical girl. Another magical girl. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. We have a shiny climax. This is a mana resupply. This is an SR. Very pretty. And I've only just noticed what the artwork is. So all of your characters get plus 1k and plus 1 soul, fairly standard climax card. As we saw earlier, it goes in one of the combos. And then our rare, we finish with Rin. Seeing as I've only seen the original Fate Stay Night, Rin's a character I can actually truly understand and appreciate. So, Gale Burst, 5-fold Rin. This is one we saw earlier for one of the combos as well, I believe. So, level 2 costs 1, 8,500 power. All of your other characters get the following ability. Continues, this card cannot side attack. Ooh. And shows experience. If the total level of the cards in your level is 3 or higher, she gets plus 1,000 power. 9,500, that's, beating a lot of level 2s, so punching well above a weight category as well, by the looks of it. So there you go, that's all the cards that I've pulled from my box. So, like I said, unfortunately, I'm not an expert on the set or anything like that. I know that there's some interesting builds in here, and particularly the set seems to raise its fist and waggle it at Kaleid, I believe, which is my favourite set. So, I'm allowed to be upset by that. It seems to be, I really like that combo I pointed out earlier. That seems like a really fun thing to do. Overall the set looks fun. I can't say I know too much about it, unfortunately, and because I believe you cannot in Neo Standard combine this with the other Fate, it does need to be able to sit and stand alone. Another reason why I think the fact that it is only dual colour is very useful. It makes deck building with it a lot easier. You should also have a much easier time being able to collect the whole set of it as well. But yeah, so there we go, that is everything that I pulled. 4 double Rs, I think that's pretty good going for box numbers, but also the SR, that's nice and shiny, and that's a good thing to pull in a box. And of course, lots and lots of rares. So, quite a few level 1s, a few level 2s, 0s, even a 3 in there as well. So yes, there we go. That is everything that I've pulled. So remember, all the cards you've seen here today can be bought and sold on our website, bigorbitcards.co.uk. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Remember to like and subscribe. If you have any thoughts or feelings or comments, feel free to leave them below. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye.